I was wondering why I was running slower because it turned off always run. I don't know why.
I guess there's like a hotkey or something he pressed.
Yeah. Some of the complaints, it's like I don't know why this is in this lawsuit alleging serious sexual harassment.
I didn't see it. I just heard the general like synopsis of what's going on, but
yeah, some of it's like that they were making lewd jokes around me, and I'm like, okay, why
oh,
is this in
yeah,
a yeah?
who
Why is this in
cares?
a fucking thing
A
about
fucking
sexual
joke.
harassment? You're sitting here talking about how they
Who
grope you,
jokes?
and you're like, oh, they also made lewd jokes. That's like
Yeah,
two
that's not the
fucking
same
leagues,
thing. Yeah,
dude.
that's not the same thing as actual harassment. Like, who cares if they're telling fucking jokes or jokes for Christ's sake?
Yeah, there's things like that that I'm like, you
It's like who
probably should
cares?
have left this out.
Yeah,
Seriously.
just because you get like overly offended by stupid fucking jokes, like that's annoying when people equate that with the harassment.
Yeah, and you could just tell that this was written by Californians because some of the things, some of the complaints of the lawsuit are absolutely legit, and it's disgusting the way these women were treated. Other ones, it's like other things, it's like there are more males working at this place than females. Why is it 50-50?
It's
Who
like, yeah, I mean,
cares?
yeah, it's yeah, that's kind of given at this point. Like with every company, it seems like they like it's almost as if they need that gender slash racial quota, even though it's illegal by. I think it's actually a federal thing at this point. Like race quotas are like an actual illegal thing
Yeah,
that was ruled. And I guess I think at some point in the future, it's going to get to the point where they actually like have that in the workplace. But it seems like in the game industry, it's really prevalent with like gender and stuff as well.
yeah, it's because so many companies have gone woke.
It's just yeah.
And it's just like
You know,
you read parts of the lawsuit and you're like, I could tell this was written by feminists. I know this was written by feminists. It's so obvious.
yeah.
And then other parts you're like, okay, that's actually a legitimate complaint. That's disgusting. You shouldn't be behaving like that.
Yeah. I guess
And
given that it's a big company, you're gonna have a lot of that type of shit going on, especially in California too.
then we've had higher ups come out and say that this is bullshit. That this is greatly exaggerated, etc., etc. And we'll see where the lawsuit goes. And I mean, you already praised China. You can't get much worse than simping for China. So
Yeah, they want their sweet, sweet China money.
I want to be excited for the
Or Diablo
upcoming
2.
remaster of Diablo 2 because it's one of my favorite games ever. But I also really don't want to give Blizzard my money.
Yeah, it's a dilemma.
Like I'm sure Blizzard's response in court will start by giving a detailed description of what Xi Jinping's cock tastes like.
Yeah, really. They have no right to talk about like all this diversity and shit. And have all these like get on like a moral like high ground when they suck China the CCP's dick all the time.
Yeah.
Like really.
Whatever makes them the most money, that's what they're trying to
It's
do.
all yeah. Oh yeah, it's also all it's really about really. I mean they can just I mean they can posture as being on the moral high ground all they want, but and the bottom line is they're all about that money regardless of what regime they're getting it from.
Yeah,
So
as soon as you cut to China, you have lost the moral high ground argument.
yeah. So you can't even show skeletons in games in China, for Christ's sake. It's actually illegal to show skeletons in in any media.
Imagine having Diablo
It's
without
weird.
skeletons.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, how the fuck is this going to be in China? It's like impossible.
Are
Like
they
half
just
the
going to
game is
remove
skeletons.
the Necromancer class?
Necromancer.
Period.
Yeah, really. Yeah, this goes against the fact that this is like spiritual shit. This is against the CCP's regime or whatever. It's
Yeah.
supernatural shit. Oh no. Can't remember what the actual reason for that is. I think it has something to do with some spiritual bullshit, obviously, considering it's a communist regime. But
Yeah.
even then, it's like, I don't know. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Like how the mighty have fallen. I loved a lot of their games. I love Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. I love Diablo 1 and 2. I love StarCraft. Loved all of those games. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at them like, what happened to you? It sucks. Whatever.
Yeah, it seems to happen a lot lately. All kinds of companies.
Yeah.
Like poor CD Projekt Red. I mean, the CD Projekt Red's not a bad company still, but it's just like obviously the whole Cyberpunk thing kind of ruined their reputation to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're still relatively respected. Because there are still some companies that are still really respected. Obviously, they're one of them.
Id Software.
Id Software is still like that. I think at this point, Valve's kind of. I don't know. Valve is in a really weird position.
Yeah.
Because they have the de facto PC gaming platform, so it's like they're because obviously they're always focusing on that, but they don't really make too many games anymore. But when they do make games, they're really good and really revered. So it's like I guess they still are respected to a certain extent. But they were always they were like that. Yeah, I can't really. What other ones?
Bethesda has fallen.
Bethesda, yeah, Bethesda really falling because they were like almost like a CD Projekt Red at one point, in terms of like how respected they were by the community. Seems like it seems like it was going downhill after Fallout 4. I think, obviously,
Yeah.
76 a really big factor too.
Yeah, they started doing different monetization schemes in Fallout 4 and then Skyrim,
Yeah,
and it just spiraled out of control very quickly.
of course it got bought out by Microsoft, and see how that goes.
Yeah,
Cause I always remember driving past the ZeniMax building when going to DC. It was always kind of cool seeing that, like knowing how close they are to me. But I guess that isn't happening anymore.
I mean, I don't know if they still have. They still, I imagine they probably still do have buildings somewhere in DC.
Oh yeah.
Where are key cards?
Yeah, it's kind of funny when you live around this area because you like sometimes when you go into like Maryland and stuff, you drive like you're close to like areas from Fallout 3, like Rockville and Fairfax and shit like that.
Yeah, I
It's
love
like
that game so fucking
it's so
much.
yeah, I do too.
I hate the way like people that fanboy over New Vegas go, well, you can't like 3 because it's not doing this thing from New Vegas, and
It's not like Fallout New Vegas is more of a Fallout game than Fallout 3, and because it has these extra RPG features in it. So
or they'll
somehow
just
that makes
flat
it a
out,
bad game.
or they'll just flat out claim that like 3 has no RPG elements, and it's like, did we play the same game?
Yeah. But just because Fallout 3 doesn't have as many features as New Vegas doesn't mean it's a bad game. I think there's a lot of RPG snobs that were like, if there's like, I think there's some RPG fans where like they're all about like the amount of features in like a game, like how in depth the RPG is, and they like look down upon like more simplistic, like quote unquote RPGs.
Yeah,
I think that's where it kind of comes from with like Fallout 3.
yeah. If you look at Fallout 4 that way, I understand, because a lot of what made Fallout 3 and New Vegas great is missing. I would get that,
Mm-hmm.
but saying that about Fallout 3, Fallout 3 is an RPG. I don't see how anybody could
Yeah.
argue otherwise.
'Cause, I mean, you can always criticize like the gunplay. I mean, obviously there are things wrong with the game that are like objectively true,
Yeah.
but at the same time, but it's like you can't say it's a bad game just because it doesn't have like A or B, like doesn't have this like RPG thing or it doesn't have this thing or whatever.
Yeah, and what does Fallout? What does New Vegas actually do? Oh, it builds on everything Fallout 3 did right.
Yeah,
That does that make 3 suddenly bad? No, it really doesn't.
yeah.
I just don't get it.
Like I think even Fallout 4 is a good game. I mean, obviously it's extremely fucking streamlined in terms of its RPG elements,
Yeah,
but
that's
even
what
it's still a
drives
fun
me.
game.
That's what drives me nuts about 4.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it as like a first-person shooter with RPG elements, then it's a good game, I think. But like if you look at it as an RPG, it's kind of hard to get into as much, I think. But I mean, it's still a fun game. You can make it better with mods, from what I've seen. Yeah, you can you can basically turn the game into Stalker if you wanted to, with all the mods you can download for Fallout 4. But either way, it's still a good game, I guess, for what it is. You can get enjoyment out of it. I think a lot of the hate for Fallout 4 was kind of overblown at the time.
I
I mean,
figured it out. I had to shoot that switch.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's the only one that I can shoot. So that's weird. That's red. Let's find the blue door. Anyway, what are you saying?
I was just saying, like, how I think some of the hate for Fallout 4 was kind of overblown at the time and exaggerated. I mean, I see where people were coming from. I mean, it was a really hyped game, and it was a lot more streamlined, like I said. But
Yeah, I don't think
I mean,
it
it
was
was
bad.
still fun. Yeah,
I was just disappointed.
it was just I mean, because I was really looking forward to. I mean, when that first trailer dropped, I mean, I was like, oh shit, let's go, motherfucker!
Yeah.
God damn. But I mean, I got my enjoyment. I mean, I still haven't beaten the game. I put like 80 hours into it, but I mainly did that playing like side quests, because I usually do that with RPGs, where I play side quests mainly and then do the main quests like later on. So I never actually even beat the game still, which I probably should. But I mean, I got my enjoyment out of it at least. Not as much as my enjoyment I got out of New Vegas or Fallout 3, but still.
Yeah. There's something they do with the Brotherhood that I really didn't like. And that, toward the end of the game. Because you know how the Brotherhood's whole deal is like preserve technology, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get an option to do that with the... If you choose the Brotherhood side and Fallout 3, at Fallout 4, you get to the game and you get like And it's like, what are you going to do with it? You're going to wind up destroying it or side with the Institute. That those are your options, really. And it's like, why would the Brotherhood destroy
The Institute.
Institute instead of taking all their tech?
Yeah. It's kind of a big deal.
It's very un-Brotherhood-like.
Of course, the worst faction in the game was the under. Well, what was it called? The underground.
Yeah.
The underground, the railroad, the railroad. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the railroad.
Fuck the railroad. Fuck the railroad.
Like, I think people are. You think they want you to think that the railroad are the good guys? I can't do it. Like,
It's
the
like, no,
railroad
fuck
would
that.
make more sense if it was escaped androids or whatever helping other androids escape, but it's not. It's not even that much.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
just,
like, I got to that point in the game. I'm like, I don't want to help these fucking people. I'm like, oh fuck this. I'm out of here.
yeah. They don't blame you if you wind up siding with the Brotherhood.
Yeah, really.
I think most people did because the railroad sucks and Preston, what's his name, is kind of annoying.
He's annoying. Yeah. It's like, because the house, the only time I actually built a house in the game was at that beginning place where he is, and he's always bothering my ass. It's kind of a shame actually, because the whole that was a big mechanic of the game, the whole building a settlement thing.
Yeah, I
I didn't even really do that.
I didn't do that
Honestly.
either. I thought it was kind of clunky to deal
Yeah.
with, and I'm like,
My cousin got really into that actually.
and I'm like, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, like my cousin built like a settlement at every location you could do it at. I'm like, how the hell do you do this? And she actually got the trophy for like 100%. There's a trophy for something like 100% of the people like where they're living or something in the settlements, like all the settlements. And like, how the hell? Like, I mean, I guess if you like building, like if you're into like The Sims or something and you play this game, you would really like that. But I just couldn't really get into the building mechanics in the game.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it either. I didn't want to bother with it. And
It seems
the way
fun,
Preston Garvey works, like, oh, we could continue on and do this mission, but first I need you to help out more settlements. I don't want to fucking help out settlements.
It never ends. It's really annoying.
It's a.
mean, I guess
I don't
it's-
like Radiant Quest design.
It's
You
like,
know?
yeah, I just busy work. If you somehow get to the point in the game, if you played it for hundreds of hours where there's no more quests to do, and you're overpowered as fuck because there's no level cap in the game, so you can literally get every perk in the game at a certain point if you play it long enough.
Yeah, I don't
So you
like
can
that
just-
either. That's another
Yeah,
thing I
it's
don't
like
care for.
it's not fun. Like, it's not fun when you're so overpowered in like an RPG.
Yeah, in
like some
3
people
in New
like that.
Vegas, I have to plan my builds. You know, that lends
Yeah, that's
replayability
what's fun.
to trying out different builds.
Yeah, that's what's fun about it. I mean, like what's the point of making a build in Fallout 4 when you can just have every perk at a certain point if you play it long enough?
Yeah,
It's like you're just a Superman. That's not fun. I mean, I think some people like that, but it's like I don't know. It's kind of boring when you're just like this the Mary Sue of the game that can do anything like you want. You know.
you leveled up your speech so
But,
much you can talk anybody into anything.
Yeah, really. And just the fact that the game just has only perks as well. Like I hate that so much. That there's no actual like.
Yeah, but the
skill
bobbleheads
point
are still there.
system. The bobbleheads, yeah.
And there are bobbleheads for things that aren't in the fucking game, so I think they changed the level system late in the fucking game.
Yeah, they must have or something. They must have
Like, in there were like one for energy weapons, even though there's no energy weapon perk.
yeah.
What the
It's
fuck?
just all yeah, just guns. Like in guns, and even more so than New Vegas, because New Vegas streamlined the whole guns perk as well. But they still had an energy weapons skill, But this is just ridiculous for just guns in general.
Yeah. Wielding a shotgun ain't exactly the same thing as wielding a
A plasma rifle or
yeah,
some shit. Or
yeah,
Gauss cannon.
yeah. Learning how to better fire your shotgun isn't exactly going to prepare you for that fucking rocket launcher, okay?
Yeah. There's also one gripe about New Vegas that you can say that it does streamline the weapons perk,
Yeah,
but I guess it adds the whole survival thing as well, the survival perk or the survival skill, I should say. But oh well.
yeah. And for I fucking adore both 3 and New Vegas. They're both just amazing games.
Yeah. Like I really think all the I wouldn't say all, obviously not all the games of the series, but I would say that like a majority of the games like are good in their own right for what they are.
And then there's 76.
But 76, and obviously the fucking the monstrosity that is Brotherhood of Steel
Ugh.
on PS2. I mean, but that's so like nobody cares about that, and it's a spin-off, so that can rot in obscurity. But I mean, oh well. I mean, you can't go wrong with like 90% of the games being good in their own right.
Yeah. 1 and 2 are just phenomenal fucking. If you can get into the old school style, they are just amazing games. Excellent world building, excellent lore, story, characters, all that.
Mm-hmm.
The atmosphere is excellent.
It's a lot darker.
Yeah.
Than the tone of like Bethesda's games.
Yeah.
More of a, yeah, you kind of have more freedom to do things, it kind of seems.
It's very, very memorable. And then 3 in New Vegas are masterpieces as well. Tactics is pretty good for what it is. It's not an amazing game, but for what it is, it's pretty good.
I forgot about that, actually.
Arlie Army's in Tactics. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he plays a Brotherhood sergeant.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But even early on, they were getting pretty good actors.
Yeah.
Obviously, before they got Liam Neeson as your father, but...
Yeah, the original had Tony Shalhoub, who's on best known for playing Monk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Adrian Monk in the show
Yeah.
Monk.
I forgot about that show.
Yeah. He plays the leader of Shady Sands.
Oh, the very beginning of the game.
Yeah. That's him.
Oh, wow. Oh, I didn't know that was him. Wow.
I don't know what that does.
I just like how if you want to, in the original games, if you wanted to play a complete bumbling retard, you could play as a complete bumbling retard in the first 2 games.
Yeah, and it actually changes the way people will interact with you.
It's really funny.
Ooh. Yeah,
okay.
The way the fucking when you go back to the vault and you get the water chip and you go back to the vault, the way the overseer talks to you is just fucking hilarious. There is a bad place where the bad monsters come from. It is bad. Go deal with bad place.
You're like, oh yeah. Just make him have him have 9 strength or some shit, like 1 intelligence.
As Clerks 2 put it, retard strong.
Yeah, retard strong. Yeah. There's more room to make certain builds. That's for sure.
Yeah. There are quests in one that I haven't even done because I haven't done builds proper for them. Like the Thieves Guild quest line, I never did that.
I need like high stealth.
For the Thieves Guild quest line, you need like you need to know how to pick a lock for one.
Oh,
'Cause you can't get into it unless you like can't even get to the Thieves Guild unless you like navigate a minefield of traps and like pick a lock and pick a bunch of locks to be able to get there.
good. It's good game design.
Yeah.
It's kind of telling you like, hey, if you have a high skill or high lockpick skill, then there's something in it for you to navigate through this like field of traps or whatever.
Yeah. That's how you get to the Thieves Guild. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I still don't know what the fuck that button does.
They probably lowers or opens something somewhere else.
Whatever it does, it only does it temporarily. This lowers that, then that. I don't know what it does. Oh, it lowers. Is that it?
Lost Souls, yay! Everyone loves Lost Souls.
Lost Soul dispensers. Fuck off. Holy fuck. Okay. There's a Berserk pack. Okay, so what did that series of switches do besides unleash a bunch of lost souls? Do I need to go through it again? Let's go through it again just to make sure. No, it's still pressed. Okay. Let's go back out here and see if that did something out here that I can get to. Got armor. Like, I can see the yellow key when I'm back down there. I just don't know how to get to it.
Tricky Dicky.
Yeah. Okay, so that does hurt me. That's where I got the red key. I am hopelessly lost again.
Yeah, it seems like a majority of these later levels are going to be like this.
That'll
I had a
slow.
lot of trouble when I played it.
That'll slow progress to a fucking crawl.
Yeah, this game is definitely a lot more maze-like in term compared to the other games in the series.
Because the originals just weren't maze-like enough.
Yeah, really.